We are now playing a waiting game on this striker. And what do we do with these loaners? This and more in the new episode of the Daily Roundup. Hello and welcome back to Khosi Nation Fan TV. If you are new to this channel, first of all, welcome and thank you for joining us. And if you're asking yourself, what is this channel about? Well, this is where fans meet and we talk about football. I start the conversation and then it continues down on the comment section below. So make sure to leave your comment letting me know what you think of what I'm about to say and just bringing up general conversation about Kaizer Chiefs or South African football in general. So the question of the day today is, if you had a choice, right? Well, I'm not saying I'm saying if you had a choice to pick between signing Umodi or signing another striker, who would you sign? Now, I will give you the pros and cons for each signing. So it looks like we're not going to sign a local striker. It means we might sign an international striker. We might still sign a local striker, but it looks unlikely. So the disadvantage with signing an international striker, you sign them for 5 million. Let's just say Nomodi costs 5 million. Sign him for 5 million and then he comes to South Africa, he doesn't adapt in the first season. However, on the other hand, is that if you sign a second striker, that means Dupree not only has competition, but he has someone he can play with in case we play a formation that has two strikers, because I'm forwards is now Vele, I'm wingers. So, in that way, you basically have a squad depth and competition, and in case Dupree gets injured or he gets cutted, then you have a person also by backup. I know Guti, there's also Billiard who can play as a number 9, but usually he plays and he drops like some sort of a false 9, and he prefers also to play as a winger. But if you're playing him as a number 9, then you are kind of in a way limiting him if you're expecting him to be that finisher, that poacher, So on the other hand, you have Modi, who's used to South African football, but at the same time, if you're signing him into an already kind of saturated midfield or wing places. So you see pros and cons. So let me know down on the comment section, who would you sign? And speaking of people that you would sign or would not sign, let's go to Letsoalo. Now in the Letsoalo, I'm bringing it up because a lot of you in the comment section were talking about how Letsoalo Vele is not a good striker anyway. And Vele, if you're looking out just to go 17 goals. But if you look closer, you see what he actually scored 11 of those 17 goals from a penalty spot. And his finishing abilities has been questioned by many. But Tiki Pirates must have seen something and they must see something that they want to fix. But Chiefs have thought, we're not going to get him. Because even when Zwan was asked about strikers towards the end of the season, was like, who do you get? Who do you get in South Africa? And he said, you have Evanga, but you don't know what you'll do with Evanga. And at the time, he didn't mention not Dupree because obviously they didn't want to show what they had interest. But in the Letsoalo says it was back when Baxter was there and before he scored these 17 goals. So, yeah, I get why Chiefs is not going after Letsoalo. And yeah, I agree with you guys. Yeah, as a striker and what we need, kukhona ukuthi intimidating and being a forward ngumzimba wakhe and all that stuff, you might need it at times. But if Uzwane and the technical team or Kaizer Junior or sporting director thinking, let's not get him, then I trust their judgment. So far it's been good. And in the waiting game, we're playing it with Ukodisang actually, because what's happening right now is that Braga, as I said in the previous videos, Uguti, they had a 3-year deal and now it ended, but they had a 2-year option to extend and they've exercised that, but they want to loan him out and he doesn't want to do that. So because of the fact that I'm scheduled there to South Africa, Portugal, like fan valley, but the Bedlali Nations League, born in Europe, and this side we're relaxed valley, so we're doing things while on the other side when Abasamil. So it's why it could be a thing. Yoguti Braga has not started like selling or buying players or finalizing things on other deals because They are also still waiting. If they sell someone, maybe they might keep Ukodisang. But if they find someone and they get more players, and then they can see you know what, Vela Simlone out or something, or let's just give him to Chiefs. Then that's when the Chiefs will finally say, okay, fine, we have a player right now, and we are good, and we can sign him. But as it stands right now, we just are nowhere except to wait. We have nothing that we can do except to wait for Ibraga to finalize what they want to do with Ukodisang. Because the fact that they still want to loan him out is a contract instead of just letting him go. That means they see something in him, and they think if they send him out on a loan, he will probably improve, and then they will get a better player. Sure, I speak English. So speaking very in the it's important in the because he is that person ongadlala as a second striker. He can compete with Dupree. He's still young enough. He can even play alongside him if we choose to play a formation with two strikers. And we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. And in the players that we loaned out last season, apparently they're still waiting for Chiefs to say something to them, because they were loaned out and now they don't know whether they are going back out on loan or they will be rejoining the main squad. So sikhuluma ngoThabo Mokoena, who's the centre back on 22, and kulama position, centre back position right now, the two people that looks like we might sign is Udoti from Cape Town Spurs and Msimango from ETS Galaxy. It could be one of them, it could be both of them. And right now in the center back ukuthi uzothatha uMkwena uzomhlalisa ebhenchini, it's not good. You will ruin his confidence and just end up like making him a worse player, and then akasakusizi after investing so much in him and having him as a player for Kaizer Chiefs. So it's best maybe to just send him back out on loan. And another player that actually played, I think, 1 or 2 matches last season, Daryl Machek, can play as a central defensive midfielder. He can also play as a centre back. And in the Machek nayo, Mauta took back a position is defensive midfielder, his main position. Kukono Alexander and Unange, they've used him as a defensive midfielder. Umat naye, they can use him there. Ublom naye, they can use him there. So basically you have 4 players as about number 5 to born. But busy schedule and everything, you might just want to keep him around because those players abadlala kulama position, Alexander Mdala, he might get an injured, be out. That means now you are left with 3, and Ublom, they might be playing him as a right back, so you are left with 2. All of a sudden one gets a yellow card and now send a backup. So you'd understand why they're still waiting for him as well, because anything can happen. The games will be coming thick and fast, and you don't want to be caught in that way. So I understand why they are holding on to. The player that I don't understand why they are holding on to and they haven't decided whether to send him out on a loan, Ulebohang Lesako, also 22, we right wing. Maubega, who do we have on our right wing? We have Udoli, obviously is going to be a preferred starter unless they push him to number 10, and then that opens up a lot of possibilities. Kusekhona uSekhota that I didn't see Arthur picking him as a number 1. Instead, was wapick uMashiane as a starter ahead of him, and I also saw him playing Ongcobo as a winger ahead of uSekhota. But still, that means Uzwane has options lapha right wing, and because of our players being able to play attacking midfield as a winger, attacking midfield as a right winger, it makes that place very saturated and highly competitive, and it could either be good for a player to know what I'm fighting more for my place, or it can just say mina ngidlala vele kunodoli lapha sebesayine no Solomons who can play as a winger. You know, it's a lot. So that's why I'm saying I don't understand why he has not gotten instructions. But you know what? We're sending you out again because there's a lot of competition in that place. And it's the same thing for Keletso Sefama. Na eske sambona ma-glimpse nyana edlala ukuthi okay, this boy can be good, this boy is good. He just needs to be developed better. And I don't want them to be sent back to Tongati. You know, I want them to actually now go to a team like Swallows, ezoba kwi-PSL, where they will actually get the experience to play in the top flight, or maybe to be loaned out to another team, or Maritzburg United, teams that will be fighting for something and that will get them motivated and push and pump, not just ukuthi okay zizama nje kwi-league, which I don't like. Ngifuna abadlali bahlale endaweni where it's highly competitive, in a place where it will push them both mentally and in every way possible. Now let's move on to uPule Modi. Indaba kaPule Modi ke vele isekutheni Chiefs were said to be preparing an improved offer for him, and we haven't had anything today. And Chaguti, what happened was were Arrow satisfied with the offer and whatnot. And if ucabanga vele, why is Chiefs chasing after Umodi so much? There is no question he's a good player, but he is also a player with the right age and experience. And Uzwane did talk about Uguti. What they want to do for Chiefs is also to bring in good players who will help the young players that we have right now at Chiefs improve and get better, because they are the future of the Chiefs. And that is why I think maybe, just maybe, the players that I mentioned, about 4 who were loaned out, Usefama, Olesako, Macheka, Nomkwena, the reason why maybe they haven't been sent back to be loaned out, maybe Uzwane wants to keep them in that environment, in that competitive environment, and see how they will fare and how they will do if they were given a chance. Maybe we are winning 2-0 or 3-0 against some team, and then let's see what you can do. Humble Dala as if we are losing by 3-2 and it's the 90th minute, and to test them and see how they will perform. And that will happen because the big players like Kabo Modi would have already set set it in motion. We are winning this match, we just need you to finish it out and have more fun, you know. So Indaba Modi Vele and other things that we're waiting for will come up next week. But I do think Chiefs are struggling with this one, because if it was as easy as we've been thinking, because this thing has been up and we've been talking about it for a long time, so if it was just as straightforward as I thought, then Ngabe bamsayina so that he would be part of a team when we start preparing for the season. But it wasn't, which means there was some misstep or miscalculation somewhere. As a result, Modi is not signed right now, which is not to say, hey, they suck, but it's to say maybe something didn't happen the way they intended it to. So, but it's okay, these things happen. No signing is always, not all the signings are similar to each other. But it brings us back to the same point that I was talking about in the video. Who would you prioritize if you had a choice? Thank you so much for watching this video. Remember, the conversation doesn't end there, it continues down on the comment section below. So do let me know your thoughts about all these signings, these loanies, and anything else that you might think of that you want to talk about. And don't forget to like the video, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Subscribe. If you have Twitter, follow Khosi Nation Fan TV on Twitter as well. Let's grow this community everywhere we can. I will see you on the next video, which by the way will be me analyzing the players from the goalkeeper to the forwards and how they will each contribute to Kaizer Chiefs and how we'll be playing next season. So I will be doing those videos on weekends starting tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next one, and remember, equals and pay no more.